Michelle.
Welcome to Mallett and Michelle. I am Michelle and this is Steve, and the tables are turning today. After 11 years of working together, we've both heard every story we thought we had, but we are interviewing each other today. So we may laugh, we may cry, and I most definitely will mispronounce something, and let's get into it.
That's my goal today, is to make Michelle cry. So you all be the
goal to
judge
cry.
if I am successful or not. But before we get the show started, a couple things. I want to remind everybody about our contest, our Deep Eddy Vodka Espresso limited edition collector's item
A what?
kit.
Espresso?
Espresso,
You
not
know what?
X.
You know what espresso vodka is? It's just bean and potato soup, basically.
Well, it's yummy.
It's
I
yummy.
know it's yummy. We have this very limited edition box of, it's got espresso goodies, espresso, it's
Martini
glasses. It's got a bunch of other goodie things we put in there. What was the last? We think it's worth about $500 million now.
It's gone up. Especially because
Sotheby's contacted us
Yes.
and said, yeah, it's gone up a little bit.
Deep Eddy has now sold out of the
Espresso.
bean and potato soup drink. And
thank you very much, Mallett and Michelle,
You're
for us
welcome.
promoting it. Yeah.
You're welcome. So if you go like our page, Mallett and Michelle, if you tag somebody, you get an entry. Sorry, if you like it, you get an entry. If you tag someone, you get an entry. If you share it, you get an entry. If you leave an Apple podcast review, you get two entries.
Yes.
This is the last week for the contest.
Yep, that's right.
And
so Instagram, Mallett and Michelle on Instagram, go like us, follow us right now, and you'll be entered into the very limited edition contest for
Like
the
us
espresso
and follow us. And
martini vodka.
I'm going to put my notes away right now because I'm not being interviewed
So you
yet,
don't get
but-
distracted.
Yeah.
Well, let's thank our sponsors, because we couldn't do the show without the
Absolutely.
people that pay the bills.
Well, we have Deep Eddy Vodka
Tasting room.
Tasting Room.
Inflation, crime, taxes. You need a break. And Deep Eddy Vodka Tasting Room is the place to get it. Go have some fun there today.
Oh, are they open today? Can we go after the podcast?
Well, we have plenty around that
That's
studio
true.
here. We
True.
don't need to go. We should go, but we don't need to.
Jovi Belterra.
When you retire, you want to live your life to its fullest. Jovi Belterra is the place where you can make it happen.
And they play dominoes too, and
Yes,
cards
they
and
do.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah, they have poker night, and gosh, they just had
Elvis night.
They did. That was a lot of fun.
South Star Bank. Oh, love these people. Kim Watson, all of them.
All
over there.
of them are great, yeah. Other banks give you suckers and calendars. South Star Bank gives you all that and the best financial tools to make your dreams come true. Call them today.
And the one, the only Mallett Integrity Team Real Estate.
When others claim to be the #1 agent, we just quietly go about kicking ass and selling homes. We're the Jason Bournes of real estate.
That's
I
pretty
have
funny.
a lot of fun writing these every week.
That is-
I don't know if anybody else gets my humor or not, but I sure like doing it.
That's pretty funny. We also stream live on Instagram every time we do our monologues and stuff, but we've had some connection issues, good old Dripping Springs internet. So,
Thank you, Spectrum.
and if you keep getting kicked off, we appreciate the ones that keep coming back on. So, but yeah, if you ever want to watch us live.
Now I think I know why we lost our audio last week. I think it is our connection. I'm looking at the connection seems to be going in and out. But hopefully people watching on live, you can still hear us. So, well, I want to set up what's happening today. This is
What's happening today?
This is episode 205.
Ooh.
205 people have come in here, well, 204 people have come into this studio and been interviewed by us, but we have never been in the hot seat with each other. And we thought it would be good for both of us to be peppered with questions like we pepper our guests with questions.
All of a sudden, I got really nervous.
I
don't know why.
I know. And, experience what it feels like for these people to have to sit in the special guest chair and answer our questions on the fly. So we're going to do it with each other, and I'm going to start with you.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. Well, we always start with, how'd you end up in Dripping Springs, Michelle?
Oh, well, that's a funny little story. I've lived in Austin since 1994. give or take. And then we moved back to San Antonio for about a year and a half or so. And we lived in South Austin. Love South Austin. We used to come out to Nutty Brown and what was it, the 290 West Bar or whatever. We used to come out dancing out
Down
there.
at the county line.
And Todd actually found the neighborhood. And I wanted something smaller for my kids. My oldest is dyslexic, and I felt like the Austin schools, he was just drowning by them. And I just wanted something smaller. So we came out here to Dripping Springs, and we've never left.
You've been here a long time.
Long time. I think, so when we moved out here to Drip, what year was that? 2007, when we moved out here to Drip.
Man,
but I've been in
you're
Austin
an
since
old-timer
94.
now.
Yeah.
Well, my first question after that is, you've been working for me for how long now? A long time. It's been decades. It actually has been over a decade. What did you expect when you first started working for me? What did you think this was going to be like?
So when I first started working for you, my motivation I actually had another job offer. And when I interviewed you and I realized that you were Colton's dad, I was like, okay, this could be fun. And I come from a marketing background, but we had custody of our special needs nephew at the time, and he was over at the high school. And so my feeling was, in case he stabbed anybody, that I'd be close enough to the high school.
You're only 5 minutes to the stabbing scene.
But, quite honestly, my perception of what it was working for you and what it actually was just kind of changed. I did learn early on that you don't know how to do anything up at the front office.
I don't. And I don't want to learn.
And the poor girl that I was replacing, she was already at another job, and so I had to learn on the fly, and I was staying here till like 7, 8 o'clock at night, and I remember going home to Todd, and I was like, I'm too stupid to do this job. I've learned so many new programs, and so I thought it was
funny.
Technical all the time, and I think it was probably early on, maybe like 3 or 4 months, then finally, I think you and I had to sit down, and I was like, I need to be me. Like, I think you were trying to micromanage me all the time.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me in the early days.
Yeah.
I micromanaged everybody. I probably drove some people absolutely insane.
But I was in it to win it. And I was like, and then I found it's exciting, because then you'd like let me off my leash a little bit, and I would explore. And really, social media was just kind of really exploding at that part. And I don't think anybody else had the excitement like I did for social media. So we were diving into certain things. Oh, let's try this, let's try that. I actually went to dinner with a friend last night. She said, you realize the first time I met you, Steve had you in a canoe?
That's right. So who was it?
Kim.
Oh, it's Kim.
She said, I was at the property and you were in a canoe. You're like, hi. You're like, this is my friend Kim.
Gosh, that was like the first week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like the second week or so. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a property we sold that was on Barton Creek, and we put you in a canoe and pushed you off the dock, and off you went. And
yeah, it was fun. I love that I've been able to kind of explore my creativity, and I like having a large cup of coffee and coming here and throwing a bunch of ideas at you.
That's a nightmare for me.
But yeah, it's just
now that you've been here for a while, would you rather learn a new app or a new online program, or clean the bathroom at the new Taco Bell?
Clean the bathroom at the new Taco Bell.
It's getting daunting, isn't it? It's like stuff is changing. I mean, I try and keep up, but stuff is changing so fast.
I gotta purge some stuff out of my brain. Like, why do I still know my second grade teacher's name? I don't need to know that anymore. I just need it to go out of my brain so I can put other stuff in there.
Of course, you'll meet somebody at a family reunion, and they'll say, do you remember your second grade teacher?
Yeah. I'll be like, I can remember my high school combination. Psycho.
I've always prided myself on being pretty up to date on technology, but we're being peppered with so many new things. I've really had to kind of filter through and decide which ones I want to focus on.
You just said something before we went on air, and you said something about our Instagram, and I was like, shit. I don't want to learn something else.
Yeah, there's the Instagram edits. It's a new app.
I don't want to learn something else.
Apparently that's what we're going to have to do. So one of the things that you're famous for in the community amongst people that know you well is your sassy attitude.
Yes.
Yeah. Who'd you get that from?
Actually, it was my whole family's like that. It's a love language. My entire family, like from my uncles to my grandmother was like that on my mom's side. My mother was very much sassy.
Was she?
Oh yeah, my mom was very, very sassy. My father always had a joke. Like, and usually they were Aggie jokes. They were stupid Aggie jokes.
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes. Like,
Yeah.
always my dad had a joke. And now I've carried on the tradition, and my kids, actually Logan, has mastered it way more than I am.
He's pretty witty.
He's very witty.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm as witty as Logan is, as sassy, but I don't know. Maybe it was just a survival tactic
And
for me.
Are your kids carrying on the tradition then, all of them?
Yeah, they're all pain in the asses. They're all smart Alex.
Your family text group will probably be
Yes.
used against you in a court of law.
Oh,
at
I'm
some
sure
point.
it will be. I'm sure it will be.
What kind of stuff drives you crazy every day, besides me?
People that are inconsiderate, either of your feelings or your time. I think I'm a big time, like, I like to have things scheduled, like whether on my calendar, whether in my phone, and Logan says I'm a planner.
Well, yeah,
I'm
everybody
very
knows
much
that.
yeah, I'm a plan. Like, I'm probably already planning next Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But it helps take the chaos and the monkeys in my brain, and it's one thing I can control if I see it on
Yeah.
there. And so
So your 55th birthday is coming up, and they're having a surprise party for you, which you're planning. That's how much of a planner you are.
I found out, and now I've taken control over it.
Yeah.
I'm a control freak. I don't know. I mean, when you grow up in chaos, you know, kind of like the way I did.
Yeah.
It was funny because my room was always super, super clean. My bed was always made. If I get really stressed, it's kind of a joke at the house. If I get stressed, I go in the pantry and I organize stuff.
I remember you sent me a video, it's been a few years ago, that you had something going on. You're like, here I am, I'm in my pantry organizing it.
Oh, no, our client sent it to you, Stephen Headley.
Oh, that's right,
Yes.
that's right,
He
that's
said-
right. Yeah, it's funny.
I don't know. It's organized chaos. When
Yeah.
when I feel like the silverware drawer and all the forks line up, I mean, look. You're coming
That's
for
your
Thanksgiving. The tables are already set. Everything's done.
I told a friend of mine this morning, I said, Michelle's having 25 people over, so there'll be enough food for 100.
That's true.
And that's you.
Yeah,
in a
hey.
nutshell.
That's from a girl who ate ketchup sandwiches when she was a kid. I have an abundance of food all of the time.
Nothing wrong with that. You think people are more inconsiderate now than they've been before?
I think so. I think people have gotten really selfish, and I think that's lack of the face to face, and because it's easy to text or just pick up the phone. I mean, mainly people text, but I don't think people take the time out to make space for somebody else and
Yeah.
sit down and say, hey, how was your day, or what do you got going on? I think I don't know. I think it's just
Do you
the
feel
way of the
like a
world.
lot of friendships now are sort of transactional? They're sort of,
superficial.
yeah, like this is what I get out of this friendship, and once that doesn't exist anymore, there isn't really a friendship.
I think so. I think people don't realize, because my outward persona is I'm a smart aleck and I'm kind of a ball buster in one sense, but
Kinda?
But I really do wear, you know this, I wear my feelings on my sleeve
Yeah.
a lot. Like, if I'm upset, pretty much everybody's gonna know upset.
You might deny it, but everybody knows.
Nobody is safe.
Yeah,
But
it-
yeah, I get my feelings hurt. I don't know why. And I think I expect the same out of people that I try to give to people. And you're just setting yourself up for failure. But I recognize it, but I'm not going to change it. It's just
Yeah.
the way it is.
So when people stress you out, what's a secret guilty pleasure you have besides organizing the pantry to make things feel better?
Okay, this is irrational, and it's not good for my wallet either, but and the kids know this, I like to go to Dr. TJ Maxx or Dr. Marshall's.
And just walk around?
Just walk around and just look at little Chatsky shit and throw it in my bag, and I'm like, oh, I think one time I did that, and I got you like a banana holder. It was like
You
a plastic.
did, yes. Yeah, I'm like, oh, thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, I just got to get out of my headspace, because if I stay where I'm at, I make it worse. I worry and I just ruminate over it, and then I spiral myself out.
You know, when we have to order stuff like for the Mallett Integrity Team or DSE, and you have to get like spoons or something, I've noticed that you really enjoy looking for that bargain. Is that kind of the same thing?
If I save 20 cents, oh yeah, it is. It is. I will drive across town to save $4. It makes no sense.
That
but
is that's you and I, on so many levels, are the exact opposite. Like, I hate doing that stuff. Like, if you said, "Hey, I need you to order 700 wooden spoons on Sheen or Shine,"
you would just
or
go
whatever,
to the
I'd
first
be
one.
Like, oh my God, shoot me! Yeah.
You know, when people go, "Oh my gosh, I love your dress," one of my two responses is, "It has pockets," or "I got this for $5.99" or whatever.
I hear you say that all the time to people. Yeah, you're a smart shopper.
Yeah, there's no shame in my game.
Yeah. When you have time with nothing scheduled, is that a dream or a nightmare? Like, you have nothing, which is probably pretty rare for you. You got nothing on the plate. You wake up on a Sunday morning, you got nothing going on. Is that your happy place, or are you like, oh, I got to find something to do?
There is nothing going on in my space. This was a real insight. Logan, my oldest, told me, "Mom, you exhaust me. You're so busy all the time. You always have it scheduled." And I think I've told you this before, though, but I said, it's because, so tomorrow will be 20 years that my mother passed away. And especially now that I'm a grandmother, I feel like I'm living life for two people. I'm living life that my mom either didn't get to experience while she was here, and now that she's gone, I'm trying to make memories. And Todd says it all the time, that I'm always like, "Oh, let's make memories." And he said that that's one of the things that he loves most about me, is that I'm always trying to find the memory in the activity that we're doing. But I don't know, I have a really hard time turning my brain off. So like, if I'm just sitting there rotting on the couch watching TV, I have to have the dishwasher going, the washing machine going, even though Todd does the clothes nowadays. I just have to have something going. Or I can watch a full movie and watch TikTok or Instagram and know what's going on in the movie.
That's crazy.
That's why you were like, I remember one day you said, "Michelle, stop watching videos." And I was like, "You don't understand. It actually like regulates my, like, because I could have it there. It's weird. I don't know why.
I don't know how you do that.
I'm ADHD.
Yeah. But so, I mean, you asked me, we came in on Monday, you said, "What'd you do?" And I go, "I didn't really do anything this weekend. It was great." But that you never say that to me. You always have something going on.
I know.
Is it something you think at some point will
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll sleep when when I was on that vacation I told you last week, I got bored.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, the pool, the beach, the pool."
One of my questions, you kind of answered it, was has anyone ever said to you, "I love you, but I'm too exhausted for you right now"?
Pretty, my entire family.
I love you, Mom, but not today.
Yes, my entire family. Yes, it's okay.
We've been having a lot of conversations and talks about this lately. What does friendship mean to you?
I really hold my friends, because my family has gotten really small, besides my children and in-laws. I really hold my friends near and dear to my heart, and I feel like I'm a fixer by nature, and I know that I mother people. It's just what I do.
Yeah.
It's the big part of my personality. But it's not necessarily I'm trying to fix a broken person why I bring them into my circle. It's just I don't like people doing stupid shit, so I have to.
Don't do stupid shit when you're around
Don't
Michelle.
do stupid shit.
She will call you on it.
But friendship to me, it's like, I guess, loyalty more than anything, right? Like I said this the other day, I want you to talk good about me in rooms that I'm not in. And
I think that's huge.
And if you don't, I try to do the same thing. Yeah, I fail sometimes, and I can gossip, but I mean, it's human nature.
I think that's friendship. If you had to put it in one sentence, it's having somebody having your back even when you're not there.
I had somebody tell me one time that people aren't puppies, and I need to stop saving them, everybody. And I was like, that's stupid.
Yeah, but I'm reading that Mel Robbins books, Let Them, and I haven't gotten very far into it. But there is, at some point, you have to go, you know what, that person's being an idiot. I got to let them be an idiot.
Yeah.
And
including me.
Well,
if I'm, like myself. Like one of the biggest life lessons that I've kind of learned about like friendship, I think, just friendships and people that I surround myself with, is that if you can't laugh about yourself, of like something stupid that you did or said, I've struggled with dyslexia my, entire life, right?
And we have a lot of fun with it.
Yes, and it's just something, like, I used to be very, very embarrassed, super embarrassed about it when I was in school, when I would mess something up. And I don't know what the shift was around end of middle school, high school, where I had to learn to laugh at myself.
Yeah.
And
well, and like, I make fun of you with that, but it's a lighthearted, friendly jabbing. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just, we're just laughing about something, and you make fun of me.
All the time.
Wear the same crap every week. I have certain clothes that I like, and you make fun of me, and I don't care.
I know, and if anybody else is around us and they hear me go, God, he's such an idiot, and they'll turn around, it's like, that's how we talk to each other.
That's right. It doesn't surprise me. You still have my back, I know that.
I do.
I know I'm jumping around a lot.
That's okay.
This was a big one for me. What surprised you most about watching your kids grow up and having kids of their own? That journey.
What a damn good job I did as a parent.
Don't hurt your arm there, patting yourself on the back.
No, that is a very humbling experience. My daughter is the best mother.
Aww.
She really is. And it made me think, wow, she really was listening to me, even though she slammed the door in my face and said, I will never be a mother like you.
I hate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that has been humbling. I really started missing my mom a lot when Navy was born, because I thought, ooh, I had to figure all of this out on my own. Kendall was 5, 6 when my mother died, and there was so much left I wanted to have of my mom, so many more stories that I wanted to have of her that I didn't have. And so whether they want it or not, I give it to them. And I also had to learn to step back. I had to let them be their own family.
Knowing you the way I do, that was probably the hardest thing you've done in the whole parenting thing, is let them make the mistakes that they're inevitably going to make without trying to intervene.
Yeah, and they're building their own family and their own legacies, and I have learned to be respectful of that. I never want to be, the TikTok mother-in-law where they're, saying whatever they're saying. But I love my daughter-in-laws and my son-in-law. They're all good people, and it makes me feel good in the sense that all my children got married young, comparative to their peers. And I look at it as they saw a good example in Todd's and my marriage, that they wanted something the same, and they found that person, and so they're living their life with that person.
And I would bet that all 3 of them will have long-lasting marriages like yours, because they're building these strong foundations with their partners.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do. I pray that. I pray that, you don't know. I mean, you were a product of divorce, right?
Yeah,
and you just
hard.
you don't know how it really affects. And it happens. Stuff happens, right? And people grow apart. And it was just something for me that I was going to keep at it. I don't know if you know this or not, but my father was married 6 times.
You told me that, yeah.
6 times.
I did know that.
To the crazy one twice. Yeah. And the last step monster, that was the when he passed away, that was her. But
so you're breaking the cycle.
Yeah, I try to. Yeah. I mean, or Todd just says it's cheaper to keep her.
Well, that was I'm going to give you a chance here. One of my questions, you have one of the best marriages around. What do you attribute that to? And what advice would you give somebody that's maybe newly married or struggling in their marriage, that things you've learned about having a good relationship with your spouse?
There was a quote that I heard, don't sweat the small stuff, and it wasn't until like 10 years later where I had to stop sweating the small stuff. Like, if I pissed him off or he pissed me off, it was just going to be, it's just a moment. One thing I heard was it a bad moment? Was it a bad day? Or do you have a bad life? And when I look at, if Todd and I get cross with each other for whatever reason, it's always something stupid, and you never know, like, the next day, what was that we were arguing about?
I know. I go through that.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's stupid. But it's like, okay, it was just a bad moment.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I'm sorry, I've had a bad week at work. It's not you. But it ebbs and flows, right?
Yeah.
But you always have to continue dating your partner. Always. And Todd and I truly have done that, even throughout our marriage. We just made time for each other. Our kids always came first in in the sense of the time and the effort that we gave to them. That's why we moved out here to Dripping Springs. But if we didn't have our marriage, and which was the pinnacle of all of the relationships, then we didn't have a family.
Yeah.
So I very much value my relationship with Todd. He's my protector.
Oh, yeah.
He's so smart. I mean, you think I'm bad with you. You should see Todd, how I make fun of poor Todd. But he rolls
part
with
of your
it.
love language.
Yeah,
That's
and
how
when he
you are.
says something funny, I'm like, you said it funny.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Holly did something yesterday. I came home. We were having dinner together, and I wasn't in a very good mood for a number of different reasons. But she just looked at me and she said, "Are you grumpy?" And I said, "Yeah, I think I am." And I said, "I'm sorry if that seems like it's directed to you." And she said, "It's okay." And she just left it. And I was like, damn, I'm so lucky that she didn't make it about her. She didn't come down on me. Why? You've got such a great life.
Yeah.
She just let me stew in it. And honestly, about 15 seconds later, I wasn't in a bad mood anymore because she just let it go.
She recognized it. You know, one of the things that I have most recently recognized is that I create timelines and lists in my head, and that nobody else can see those but me, and so I get irrationally upset because nobody else is following the timeline that I have in my head.
You don't know what I'm thinking right
Yes.
now? Yeah, I know.
And I think
used
it's
to
just
do that.
common sense.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
friggin' common sense. So I got to work on that, but I don't know. Maybe I won't.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the business that we're in, the real estate business and the podcast and all of the things about that, because we have a lot going on. We have multiple businesses that you and I run together, and the biggest one being the real estate business. But what do you love about the real estate business, and what do you hate?
Oh gosh, I love how it changes all the time and how I'm constantly learning something. Like
Yeah.
I'm hungry for knowledge, but not applications. Like don't make me don't make me learn a new software. But it's like every transaction has a little bit different, and how we nickname things. What I hate about it is how sometimes, as in always, but clients don't understand exactly what we have done and to get a particular house sold.
Yeah.
And you know, where I'm going in it was freezing rain one time and there was ice on the road, and I'm going over and dripping their faucets because they're not there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh well, that's what you guys are supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, and so like the fact that they don't realize we're trying to protect their investment as much as they are
Yeah.
trying to protect their investment. I don't think they see all the behind the scenes stuff. And
I think sometimes they just see the bottom line, and that, you know, we got paid for. I know the instance you're talking about, and we worked on that for 6 or 8 months to get that house sold. And in the end, they didn't get what they wanted to get for it, but we got it done in a difficult market. And all of the things that you and I did to get that sold,
Well, yeah.
we were over there
all the time. And
probably
like
50 times.
I found a leaking AC. I found a
Yeah.
leaking pipe in the middle of it.
Yeah, we had electrical problems that you discovered that you got fixed.
Yeah, we were
I
just
know.
checking. And so I think I wouldn't say hate. I'm very disappointed in the fact that people sometimes don't realize all the time and effort that we have also put in.
Yeah.
Because I've always described it, you are in their checkbook and I'm in their underwear drawer.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about houses that we have been involved in before, I'm like, well, I think I understand more because I'm staging and I'm there and I'm physically touching.
Yeah, I typically go in once or twice. I meet them, I look at the property, I price it, I come back.
But you communicate on text or phone all the time.
But I come back a second time, we pin down the details, we put it in writing, we get it listed, and then you kind of take it from there. You stage it, you get it online, you get the pictures set up, the videos, all that stuff. And so you are a lot more familiar with the properties in the long run than I am. I'm more familiar with the transactional
The
side of it.
analytical side, yeah. And I do like the fact that we go in as a team. You know, that does feel good to me.
And it's a real team. It's not, we are actually both pulling the same direction for the client. I know that's pretty rare. And the Dripping Springs Elite Real Estate Professionals, you and I and Donna Lafitte started this group we started it in 2016, but the first kickoff was January 1st, 2017, which is crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
What's surprised you? It's been a huge, huge success. What's surprised you about that?
Maybe the fact that I think certain people that have come in the past have, how do I word this, have made it about themselves instead of about the group.
Yeah.
And until they got into the group and realized that we can be competitors and still contribute to each other. There's so much that you can still learn from each other. And I think that a lot of times there's a misconception just because one person is in a particular group of 25 that you wouldn't do business with that person, but it doesn't mean the other 24 can't contribute.
Right.
And I've learned a lot about people here in Dripping Springs being in DSC. There's a lot of personality differences. There's a lot of people that have strengths that I don't have. I mean, this whole new batch of group, they're teaching me all sorts of things about video that I don't want to know.
But yeah, I love all the strength of all the people that come in. They all have different things that they're really good at, and we're learning from them, and they're learning from us.
I'm really proud of the DSC where it is now, and I finally feel like this last batch that are here, they recognize my contribution, and I'm not a real estate agent. I'm the only person that's not a real estate agent.
You're the glue that keeps it all together, what it is.
But you know why? You know why it works? Because I'm the mom.
Yeah.
Because I mother everybody.
And you're the one that, like you were talking about, you make lists in your head. You're the one that when we show up to have a lunch, there's silverware or there's cups,
and there's the banner, and there's
you don't let those things fall through the cracks. You go, whoever's handling lunch, you go, hey, have you got plates and okay. And if we don't, you're like, I'm heading to HEB. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Yeah,
I'm a fixer.
Yeah, you are. You were just talking about social media, and it's a big part of what we do on multiple different platforms, and for different reasons. But social media tips for the masses. Somebody out there right now thinking about social media and what it means.
Okay, when I first got Facebook, I never had, what was the thing before Facebook? What was that? MySpace. I never had a MySpace.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And when Facebook first came out, I had a friend of mine in Sunday school. She got like catfished on Facebook, and so I was really nervous. So I didn't have Facebook for like 2 years while it started kicking off. Then I finally got it. The reason why I got it was to connect with high school friends and see their life and family, and it's kind of morphed into something uglier. I have been a participant in fighting with strangers on social media. And
for a while, it was a specialty of yours.
It was a specialty of mine. And you know what? It was kind of fun. But now I realize that most of these people, they're just bots, or they're in somebody's basement, in their underwear eating Cheetos.
The people that argue the hardest are usually the ones that hate their lives. They're really struggling with something, and they're just taking it out on you.
Yeah, well, I say use it for good, not evil.
Yeah.
Right?
Ooh, there you go. There's social media. Use it for good, not evil.
Yeah, and if you don't agree with something, just walk on by. Like I saw a post this morning about somebody saying, why did they have this, that, and the other? And it's like, how does that affect you?
Yeah.
Why are you even worried about that?
Your favorite post is, well, you sound fun.
Oh, that's my favorite thing. That's what I say now instead of trolling.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I still do that. I'm like, you sound fun.
Yeah. I love that. And most of the time, it is exactly the right response. So the podcast now, we're coming up. We're going to start year 5 here in about a month, believe it or not. What else do you want to get accomplished with this podcast? Because one day we're going to have to sit here and go, I think we're done.
Yeah.
What do we want to get done, accomplished before we do that?
Okay. Is it wrong of me to say I'm just along for the ride, and I just, as you know, I've always told you, I like doing. If I'm going to spend my time doing something, I want to spend doing something fun that fills my bucket.
This is so fun.
And I don't know. It's been eye-opening. I've always been a very authentic person anyways, very open. If people ask me, I kind of tell them, but it is different being behind the microphone and spilling your life and realizing, and my friend Scotty said, you need to stop telling people where you live because you don't understand how big you are getting. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, look, if I get my first stalker, I'm gonna have him on the podcast.
Yeah, Dustin from Austin.
Yeah, Dustin from Austin.
Been listening for a while, you know that.
But I feel honored that people tune in and listen to us,
Spend
and
their time with us.
whether or not they care or agree with our opinions, it doesn't matter to me. I like getting to know the guest.
Yeah.
That is so much fun. And I
yeah.
told you that, didn't I? I said,
Yeah.
where would we ever sit in a coffee shop and ask the questions that we are able to ask, and they're
really
open?
fun.
So it has been probably one of the highlights of my career. Not
Yeah.
probably. It is the highlight of my
and
career.
I feel everybody that comes up to us and says, "Hey, I listened to that episode. That was really good." I don't get a big head from that. I'm honored that those people would spend time with us.
Well, then take the black Sharpie out of your pocket.
Yeah, damn it. Nobody's asked me for an autograph.
No.
I got 2 more questions, and then we're going to move on to me.
I'm going to have to sanitize my questions because you've asked some of them already and answered.
Well,
so, yeah.
I'm actually a little nervous about you doing this to me, but any regrets in life?
Oh, yeah. I have a couple. That I didn't finish my degree, and then I didn't learn how to play piano.
I didn't even know that was on your list of things you wanted to do.
Yes, the 2 things. I've actually thought over the years that I should go back to school. I should go back to school. I should go back to school. And that was one of my biggest regrets, is that I didn't finish my degree. And that I can play by sight, but I don't know if it was because I was dyslexic or not. I had a really hard time playing piano, and my grandmother would get so frustrated with me. But
okay, there you go. Anybody listening, Michelle wants piano lessons for a Christmas present.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Well,
That's
I
a
used
good
to sing really, really well too, but since I've had my neck surgery and my other, it's messed with my vocal cords. But
well, now you're a podcaster.
Yeah, but now I'm a podcaster. But I love singing. I probably should have pursued something in the music career. As far as regret, I don't have any like big regrets, like, oh my gosh, should I have called my mother before, or should I have done this? I feel like everything had happened for a reason, and it's exactly the way it was supposed to be. My daughter asked me, Mom, do you regret any way of how you raised us? And I said, nope. And she goes, what, really? And I said, because all 3 of you guys turned out exactly who you are and exactly where you are. And if I changed any of that, I could have changed the trajectory. Do I regret some of the small things?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Logan's favorite story to tell on him or me is that, aside that I would pinch him and say, I'm embarrassed, stop embarrassing me, was I was driving back from the valley visiting my grandparents, 7-hour drive with 3 kids, and they're bickering and somebody's farting and somebody's like, stop touching me. And our house was being built, and we were driving by, and they were like just on my last nerve. And I had a little bag of what are they called? Sand dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Sand dollars. And all the kids had gotten sand dollars. And I opened the window and I threw them out the window. And Logan was like, I wasn't even doing anything. And I drove back around the block and I picked up, and 1 sand dollar was not broken. I was like, here, Logan. That right there.
I lost my cool, but I'm sorry.
That describes my parenting style to a T right there.
That's good. Yeah, parenting's hard. Nobody gives you a little manual. There's some books, but they don't address the things that come up as when you are parenting, the decisions you have to make on the fly.
No, and I'm telling you, it is a different kind. I love and adore my children, but it is a different kind of feeling with a grandchild. Like, that little girl has all of my heart, and it's really cool to see my child have a child.
Yeah.
And she's just indescribable. Yeah. I love that. I just want to gobble her up.
That's so great.
Yeah, she's amazing.
All right, my last question, and then we'll move on to me. What do you want written on your gravestone?
Oh. She came, she saw, she conquered. I don't know. Actually, it's well done, good and faithful servant.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because my faith is, I'm not as outwardly, openly about it as some people, but my faith is very important to me.
It is. I know that about you. It's very strong.
I hope that has, in how people perceive me, is that I'm a Christian first, and then I'm a wife, and then I'm a mother and a grandmother, and then I'm your friend.
Yeah.
But my following, my belief in Christ, and it doesn't mean that I don't have questions, and it doesn't mean that I don't struggle, but well done, good and faithful servant.
That's really good, Michelle. Thank you for being a guest on our podcast today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now it's your turn.
I'm
How did
really
I
nervous.
do?
You did really good.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised you didn't ask me like really hard questions.
Oh, I thought some of those were hard. Like what? Give me one example.
I don't know. I thought you were going to say, I don't know. No, because I have some of the same questions.
Great. Well, now I'm really nervous.
Okay, ready?
Oh,
It is hot in here.
Yeah, this is a lot of equipment in here.
What's your favorite color?
Oh,
That's my first question.
Navy blue.
What's your favorite color?
Navy blue.
was
Look,
like-
denim, navy blue.
Well, I broke it down about like we know so much about each other, and so I was like, these are kind of like the down in the dirt questions that I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to ask you, or maybe somebody doesn't know about you. But I know that you moved around a lot as a kid,
Yep.
like Scotland, London, Spain, Japan, right?
Japan,
Okay.
yep.
What country do you think most shaped your personality?
Spain, without a doubt.
Really, it was the
Yeah.
girls in bikinis, wasn't
It
it?
was girls in bikinis. Yeah, I mean, I lived there from 1st through 5th grade, and then we went to London for a couple years, and then I went 8th through 11th or 9th through 11th back in Spain, and you know, my first love was there. You know, there's a lot of those big pivotal moments happened while I was in Spain. I learned to surf there. I was a beach rat, and then that surf lifestyle kind of continued for me till I was in my probably 40s. You know, it was flip-flops, surf trunks. That was sort of my image. So yeah, Spain. That was and I have really good memories of that, of living there and all the experiences we had.
And have you been back?
No, I would like to go back, but I lived in Homestead, Florida when I got out of high school, and there's another story there, but and then I left, and after about 10 years I went back, and you can't go back.
It's Homestead, Florida, Steve.
What did I say?
I know. You can't.
But
it's not
but
Spain.
my point. No, I know. But my point is, you have this like romantic vision of what something is, and if you go back, it's like the old saying, "Never meet your heroes," because they don't quite measure up. I would rather almost have that romantic vision of what my childhood was than to go back and go, oh, I remember this cathedral being much bigger or much more dramatic, because that's what we do with our memories, is they tend to become more grand as time goes on.
Yeah, I heard something on a podcast, and it said it's easy to love the dead because they can't.
So they can't disappoint you. Yeah.
So it's like, ooh.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
when we did the Airbnb, I decorated one room, like the Murray house is what we call it, and each room is kind of a reflection of your life, and the primary bedroom is the Spanish Madrid kind of theme, which is really cool.
And then you have one room that's like cycling, and I have all my medals from all the races and events I've done.
And then the Rolling Stones, which is the worst rock band in the history of rock
bands. Do not say that. Do not say that. That's terrible. AC/DC and the Rolling Stones, two of the best.
I like AC/DC. I like AC, but I cannot stand the Rolling Stones. Okay, and as a Navy brat, because that's why you moved around so much, you weren't just going from foster home to foster home. Was there a moment when you were around non-military kids and you're like, this life I live is not really normal? Was that happen in Homestead?
It happened in Homestead. So I left at the end of my 11th grade year. We left Spain, and I had not set foot in the United States since I was in first grade, since I was in kindergarten.
Wow.
Because I started first grade in Road to Spain, and went to the high school in Homestead, Florida, and everything's segregated, not segregated by the school, but self-segregated. There's the black people hanging out over here, and the Hispanics, and then the white people and the rednecks, and
the kickers and the surfers and the
And
stoners.
I was sort of like, that's not what you have in a school that's on a military base. Everybody's friends with everybody. I mean, not everybody, but there isn't those invisible lines that we all make, and I really struggle with that a lot. And so, I realizing that the life that I had, that I grew up in, was not what everybody else had. Kind of sad to me, actually, and I really struggled. I had to go through an extra 6 months of high school to graduate. I mean, I was skipping school because it just really threw me off.
Yeah.
So. But I mean, I did finally finish high school, but it took a lot of extra effort because of that. That transition was really difficult for me. So.
Well, and through all the moves, your one constant was your sister, and we had your sister on a
Yeah.
couple of episodes, and your sister is she has MS.
Yeah.
And as a brother, you've always, like you were talking about when you guys used to tease, or you probably dated all of her girlfriends.
The teasing went from me to her. She didn't tease me very much, but I picked on her a lot.
I'm making up for it.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm making up for it. But what is something that you as a sibling wish other people knew about your sister dealing with this chronic illness?
The thing about Donna is she's in a situation where most people would not be able to handle it.
I have to agree with that. Just visiting with her, gosh, she's so upbeat.
And she has handled this with such grace and generosity towards people. It's been amazing to watch. And everybody that comes in contact with her, that you don't leave after meeting my sister and not be unchanged. You will leave that room that she spends the majority of her time in a changed person, because you will say, I was griping about this thing yesterday. It's nothing. And sometimes they're big things, but your life, almost everybody's, their lives are so much more, I want to say, the things that trouble them are nothing compared to what somebody else in life might be
take a
going
lesson.
to. Take a lesson from, somebody that is not as blessed as you. And I hate to say that, because she's blessed beyond measure. If you're putting, you get me choked up now, but if you're thinking about somebody that's in a really difficult situation and they're happy and content, I mean, that's the greatest gift on earth. To go through something so difficult and be okay.
Her life isn't a tragedy, it's a blessing.
It's not. And she's had this disease for 40 years. She has never, ever once said, why did this happen to me? This isn't fair. Not one time.
Yeah.
I would really struggle with it, but she's a wonderful, strong person, and she's somebody that I really look up to.
Well, I'm very excited that we got to interview her and hear a little bit of her story too. I'm going to shift gears a little bit and talk about you as a parent. And you have 3 grown kids plus a child that you lost, Mitchell.
Yep.
And you've hinted about Mitchell's passing, but have never really gone deep. And I'm not going to go into, when he was a newborn when he passed away. But was there something about losing him that changed in you permanently or softened in you when you lost Mitchell?
I think I was going to be a terrible parent before Mitchell passed away. I think I had planned to just, get married, buy the house, have the kid, career, money, and I think when he passed away, I went, that's not for me. I still need to provide for my family. I need to be a better dad. If I get this opportunity again, I need to put all my efforts into being the best dad that I can be. And I wasn't going to do that before Mitchell.
Yeah.
I'd have been that, 60-hour-a-week working parent that just showed up and maybe tucked him in bed and didn't spend any time with him. And I committed to myself, and it didn't always work, but I said, I'm going to try as hard as I can to be a good dad for my kids. So that was, if you had to find a blessing in all of that, because it was the most difficult time, I would say that was the most difficult time in my life, trying to rationalize that. That would be the positive thing that came out of it.
Yeah.
This has been more emotional than I expected, Michelle.
You're welcome. Well, the next question I have about that is, what do you think your kids would say is your blind spot?
What do you mean by blind spot?
Like, what is something that the kids think you do that they think you don't realize you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're too hard on them, but I'm too hard on you because I want you to succeed, or I spent this much time with this kid because I had to spend this much time with this kid. And
I think I don't think my kids, and I'm not sure I'm answering your question correctly, but I don't think my kids realized the pressures that I had trying to be the best dad that I could be for them. You know, I was the sole provider, and you know, we were very blessed. We had property and animals, and you know, and soccer and all the and high steppers and all that.
All the Joneses stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and it was hard to get up every day and say, okay, I got to be I want to be the best dad I can be. I still got to make some money. You know, I'm juggling this, and I always wanted to be the best dad I could be, and I know I fell short of that sometimes, but it was because how do I do it all? How do I get it all done?
I've heard that from my own husband too, and you know, just you're right. You're the sole provider. You're the protector of the family, and there's so much pressure on you that is not so much on. We have our own as the mothers. We have our own.
We're
pressure.
Human beings, right? We got all this other stuff going on. You know, there's doubt, and there's self-esteem, and you know, who am I, and what's my identity, and all of that stuff going on. But you know that I know Grace and Colton have struggled with. Tyler took being autistic, and he's a great kid. Tyler took a lot of time and attention, and I know that Grace and Colton sometimes felt shortchanged, and I hate that, but it was a necessary thing. You know, you have a child that just needs help with everything, and there's just not enough time to do it all. I feel bad about that. I think as they become adults now, looking back,
they're recognizing
and I
it.
think when they have kids of their own, they will say, "Oh, I get it. It is hard doing the job."
Do you remember? Did the kids ever do this to you? Who do you love more right now? Tell me.
My kids never did that.
Oh, it was mainly Kendall. You love Tate more. You love Logan more. And Logan and Tate would go, "Yeah, she does. She loves me more."
My kids never did that. Our household, there was a lot of tension sometimes because of, you know, screaming and crying and all that kind of stuff. But I can tell you that my kids turned out
amazing.
Yeah, I am so proud of my kids, and they're doing great. And
Colton has found his forever person.
Yeah, and got married this year, and we love Rebecca. And you know, and when you get down to it, if somebody asked me, "What do you wish for your kids?" I would say it is for my kids to be happy. It's not, "Oh, I wish they become a doctor," or, "Oh, I wish they would travel the world," or whatever. I want my kids to find happiness in life.
Just be a decent person.
Yeah. And if you can get that as a parent, I think you've succeeded.
You've won the lottery. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Well, I think you have. And so now we're going to go to your career. And you've owned a bike shop, a pet store full of lizards. You have been a real estate agent for 2 decades now.
Oh, 2 decades plus, yeah.
What business taught you the hardest lesson? The biggest failure, the hardest lesson that you had?
Oh, they've all taught me some things. The bike shop taught me that I like establishing and growing businesses. I didn't like the day-to-day stuff. Like when you have a bike shop and it becomes successful, it's like every Tuesday you meet Ed from Right Way and you order tires, and you know, it's like the same old thing. And this was before social media, and so, you know, marketing was like newspaper ads and radio spots and things like that. So it wasn't a lot of creativity.
What was your bike shop's name?
Sunset Bikes. It was because it was up on this kind of bluff, and it looked out towards the ocean, and we had beautiful sunsets through the little canyon every day. So I did that for about 5 years. When Mitchell passed away, I decided to sell that because everybody that came in knew that my now ex-wife was pregnant with our first child. And after he passed away and I went back to work, everybody came in the door and said, "Hey, how's the baby?" And so I was constantly reliving this over, and I just said, I can't do this. And so, and you know, because not everybody goes in the bike shop every week. So sometimes this would go, I mean, it went on for a long time, 6-8 months. People would come in and go, "Hey, how's the baby?" And so I decided I'm going to sell it. And then I started repping. But the thing that about real estate is, it isn't the type of business where you get it all set up and established and you just kind of leave it like the bike shop, meaning, you know, it's the same. have you ever thought of one day that is exactly like the next day? Our
No.
days are so different
And
every
you say
day.
every day we wake up unemployed.
Yeah, that's right. And you go, okay, where's the next deal?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what's kept me in this as long as I've been in it, is that constant search for the next. It's a little bit like a drug. Where's the next fix? Because when you get a contract and you get it closed, we've done it thousands of times. It's a great feeling. It's you have accomplished something for somebody else. You've helped them with a financial situation, but you've also put money in the bank. You know, you can do the things that you want to do. That's a great feeling.
But you're really good at it too. I've watched you really kind of grow into a mentor, and I think it's really cool to see that. I think when I first started working for you, you didn't really look at yourself in that way.
I did not.
You were kind of a hard ass.
Kinda?
Like known around town as Steve Mallett, the hard ass.
I still get that a little bit, but when I first got in the business, yeah, I was kicking ass and taking names. I wanted everybody to know who I was, and I did that. I tried to do that through intimidation. I found out in the long run, didn't take very long, that's not the way you get stuff done.
No, it's not. I think the way you do it. What's the one thing you thought you were getting when you hired me, and what you actually got?
Well, I know exactly what it is. I thought I was hiring somebody that would just handle the paperwork and the social media side of things, which was just starting out, and do the newsletter. And what I actually got was a friend.
Aww.
Yeah.
And
So-
just like a sassy little friend, like a
Yeah.
feral raccoon.
Yeah. And that friendship came. It wasn't always easy.
No.
There was a couple times you and I were
Came to blows.
really butting heads.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, okay, she's done. That's it, you know.
And I just showed back up the next day like a bad itch.
Yeah, you told me about that. You had that dream that I died, and I
Yes.
still came to work the next day. It's like that. It's made doing what we do a lot more fun.
It has.
The
It has.
friendship
I think
has.
we've grown into deeper friends, and it is comforting to me to know that we spend more time with each other than anybody else.
Yeah.
Over the last 11 years, we've spent more time collectively together. But I do feel that you have my back and I have your back,
Yeah.
and we've
Yeah.
proven that
Yeah,
to each other.
time and time and time again. Yeah, we can make fun of each other, but nobody else makes
Yeah,
fun
exactly
of the
right.
other
I'll
person,
take you out in
right?
the back.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll
that's
take you
right.
in the back. So your wife Holly,
Yeah.
your beautiful wife Holly, she's
Love of
12.
my life.
She's 12 years younger than you.
Yep.
You old creepy little man. Just kidding.
I am so lucky to have found her. She's the light of my life. I feel so blessed every day.
So when you first started dating her, and you're 12 years older than her, did you have any kind of insecurity about the age gap that you guys had?
None.
None.
Absolutely none.
I think she brings out the goofy side in you.
She does.
Yeah.
I said to her just recently, you know, I do stuff, I say things in front of her I don't say to anybody else, and we laugh. I can't tell you the number of times, it's like 5 times a week. The last thing that happens to me is I laugh uncontrollably right before I fall asleep. Because we just, like every night we
You
get
may
in
need to
bed.
take some medication for
No,
that.
but it's just some stupid thing that we'll say, and we both just bust out
Yeah.
laughing, and then I close my eyes and fall asleep. I mean, how lucky.
That is lucky.
You're so comfortable with somebody.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about anything else but just enjoying the moment.
How has she challenged you?
Oh, she's a redhead.
Ah.
Yeah.
Seen and seen.
You know, she's very stubborn, which I'm very stubborn. So sometimes those two things that doesn't go well together. She has taught me to, just like you said, pick my battles. You know, sometimes she's being stubborn about something, and I go, in the long run, who cares? And I don't cave.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to make a big deal out of that. That's her thing. That's what she wants to do. I'm gonna just roll with it. I think that's made me a better person, because she's helped me learn that, and she does the same for me.
Well,
She's
that's good.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
really good. I love that. I remember I was here at the beginning of the whole little courtship
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. So your health, you're
Mhm.
obsessed with your health. You're
I am
obsessed with
obsessed.
running and swimming and working out. And why do you think you do all of that? What is the underlying fear and with that obsession?
Oh, I think about this a lot. There's a couple levels of it. One is it's sort of an experiment in my head, which is how long can I keep doing this and still have a decent quality of life? So that's always in the back of my mind too. I love the feeling of pushing your body to the point where you can't go anymore and seeing what you do when you get to that. And I'll give you an example. 2 weeks ago, Holly and I were on a 10 or 11 mile run, and we were running down Lake Austin Boulevard. It was her and me side by side. We had left the other people we were running with behind. And she started picking up the pace, and we got faster and faster and faster. And I was on the edge of just dying, but we held it for like 20 minutes.
Oh.
And then we finally got to the next water stop, and we stopped, and I said, babe, thank you. That feeling of just pushing yourself, it's magical to me. And she gave me that, and she didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
That competitor in her came out, and I was able to.
And you were as equally as
I
competitive.
was equally as competitive, and I pushed myself. I love that feeling of, what are you made of right now? Because a lot of people, when it gets really hard like that, go, it's too hard.
Well, so when I push your buttons, I'm just saying, I'm just.
It's a different kind of button.
It's
And it's the same with we did rim to rim to rim in the Grand Canyon. I can tell you the moment I decided to ask Holly to marry me, it was in like mile 44 of the first time we did it, and it was pitch black, and we're going up Bright Angel, and I'm just hating life, and I'm hurting, and I turn around, and she's got a big old smile on her face, and I thought, what other crazy person in life would enjoy this shit as much as I do? Nobody, yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, she's a special person.
Well, that is something I make fun of you for, but I do admire you for that, because you are very committed to it. But if you come this New Year's Eve with another freaking challenge that affects my life, the following week,
I'm going to have one every month.
I'm going to.
2026 is the year of challenges.
Wallop you in the head. I'm
is.
going to wallop you. What's the kindest thing you've ever done for someone and you've never told anybody?
Oh, man.
One of the kindness.
Oh, gosh, that's a tough one. I'm not real good at doing those things.
Yes, you are. I mean, I know one. You gave money to have some guy that you barely knew his car worked on. I mean, you're just like, it's little things like that.
You know what? It's somebody that you and I both know very well. She was coming out of a really difficult divorce, very difficult. She had a couple kids we just love. This was years ago, but I was able to find a car that somebody had it was just, their kids had gone off to college, they didn't need it anymore, and we got that car for her, and we got the title transferred, and I took it down and put 4 new tires on it because it needed tires. And I always felt like maybe she thought that some expected, and I just want you to be okay. I just want you to be all right.
Did your heart grow 2 sizes?
It did.
Aww.
People that look for those opportunities to bless other people always amaze me. I'm not necessarily built that way, but it does feel good to help somebody and not expect anything.
Yeah, you're not one to toot your own horn about that. I have 2 more questions for you so you can get out of the hot seat here pretty soon. What is something people get wrong about you?
I think a lot of people, especially in the real estate community, I think I've seen this at DSE, you can correct me if I'm wrong, think I'm a giant hard ass, and that because I always push for this group to get better and better, and I have standards, and they think that I'm just always my way or the highway. I'm actually very reasonable. If you sit down and explain something to me, I'm really open to reasonable things that accomplish what we want to accomplish. So you say it to me all the time. Somebody will react to me, and I'll go, and I don't understand why the reaction was the way, and you'll go, they were intimidated by you, and I go, me?
Yeah.
Little old me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why would I intimidate anybody? So I'm a lot more reasonable person than I think some people expect. But in real estate, sometimes
You gotta be the hard ass.
You do. You got to be a hard ass. You're like, somebody calls you up and expects you to roll over. You're like, no, that's not happening.
That's some of my
today."
favorite times when you're on the phone with another agent, and I'm just like, ooh, soap opera.
I know, yeah. Sometimes the doors open, and after the call, I walk out, and you and Cedric are like, "Ooh, that was fun."
That was fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
But I mean, that's the business, right? You fight for your clients, and sometimes you fight really hard for them. So.
Well, on the piggybacking on the epitaph
oh God,
question, I said it right, Steve. Just give me some kudos because I said epitaph right. What do you hope that in 100 years from now, someone thinks about Steve Mallett and they run across your name, what your legacy was, whether it was a father or let's say in 100 years DSE is still around or whatever it is, but your overall big picture, what do you hope that how history remembers you?
Yeah, a couple things. I want people to remember that I didn't always get it right, but I always tried as hard as I could to get it right.
Stop playing with the microphone.
I'm sorry, it has nerves. I've always tried to do the right thing. Sometimes in the hazy, life gets hazy and you don't always get it right, but I always try really hard to do what's right, what's the honorable thing to do. So I wish they remember that, and I wish that they would understand how hard I tried to be the best father, the best husband, the best friend, the best leader, the best that I could be for all situations. And I love my community, and I love the people here, and I want great things for everybody that lives in this town, and I feel like we're blessed to be a part of this little community out here in the middle of Texas.
Isn't it great?
I know.
It is great. It really is. And so if you would like to donate to the Steve Mallett statue on Mercer Street.
It'll be this big. We're just going to put it up on top of one of the stars. You won't even really see it. But that's
please send your money to Mallett and Michelle at gmail.com.
Yeah, well,
this has been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun. It's different to be in the hot seat.
It is. And you and I've talked about this before. I think some of our greatest talks have been like driving out to properties in Blanco or wherever we are, and we just talk about the craziest stuff and kind of work through life. And I have to tell you, Steve, the last 11 years, it has been a lot of fun doing life with you. And you're right. I haven't always gotten it right. You haven't always gotten it right, but we're doing it our way.
Yes, we are. And, you and I have done some really cool stuff together.
We have.
We've...
making memories.
Yeah, making memories for sure. But you're talking about legacies. I think this podcast is definitely a legacy. Look at, you said something, one of the most profound things that I've ever heard, which was, it's episode 200 for us, but it's episode 1 for our guest. It's a very special thing for them. So, it's an honor for us that people drive over to our studio and sit in that chair and subject themselves to our questions.
To our stupidity and asinine questions.
But it's, and what we've done with our real estate team, we've consistently, it always cracks me up, every year there's some new person going, I'm the #1 agent in real estate. It's like, okay, come talk to me in 22 years when you've been at the top of the game year after year after year. It's real easy to take a little snapshot in time and say, I'm the best. Like, okay, maybe you are for that 6 months.
I'm number 3.
Yeah, but I'm number 3 year after year after year after year. So, it's been a great ride. And, at some point we're going to hang up our boots and be done with this thing. I don't know what life looks like at that point, but it's been
I'm
a great
sure
time.
you'll be running or swimming, and I'll have a lap full of grandbabies. But all I have to say to end my point was thank you for this opportunity, not only the real estate and DSE and the podcast, but I wouldn't be really good at saying, would you like fries with that?
No, but you would be good at saying, would you like a pencil on the beach?
Selling pencils on the beach.
Pencils on the beach. Well, it's been a great honor, and the people that spend time with us on this podcast and the clients that trust us, and all, it's been fun, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you.
Well, I'm get to knowable.
There you go. Get to knowable. That's
Get to knowable.
That's the title of the show. So thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll talk to you real soon.